Chicas, I'm Zedmont. We've got creator code Zedmont in the shop. It's been renewed for the week. We've picked up our free diamonds. We've packed our suitcases. This is probably my last video of the season, unless I can sneak one out tomorrow morning, but that is very, very unlikely. Heading on vacation. Speaking of headed into Diamond in only 35 battles yesterday. Very, very happy with that. Big shout out to Jess for throwing out the base. Now, I straight up copied Jess's base yesterday, and it did very, very well for me. Now, Jess has gone and gotten the Shock Blaster. I do not have the Shock Blaster. I went and got this here grappler. Not entirely sure if I'm gonna keep it though. Buyer's remorse in a big way. So the tech tree that I showed you yesterday, I have since upgraded Everspark to tick 3. I've got my mechs to tick 2. Don't know if that's required, but I figured we got lots of tokens, might as well since I'm using them. Maybe you want to go even higher, not entirely sure there. I got my troop damage up to 100%. And otherwise, the tech tree has remained about the same. I don't think I had the gunboat energy upgraded or the critters upgraded, but managed to go down this path a little bit. We've got the extra troop health. Haven't attacked since I got that yet. That should make a big difference on keeping things alive. Managed to get that grappler, which we talked about. The switching is pretty cheap. I just assumed it would be a grappler. We're going to see in a little bit here. That next troop health, just making things silly, and that extra building health is going to make things even crazier than they already are. And I talked about this in my sneak peek for this mega season. Season 58 is insane. Season 59 is equally bad. It's going to be interesting to see how those things go. So if you can push a little bit this season, the higher you can get, the less painful next season will be. That is my one warning, is that next season was remembered as being worse than this one as far as instant training troops and ridiculousness. So maybe don't spend your diamonds. Save a little bit this week to get all of your diamonds stored up so that you can jump into that shop and pick up that instant training for 200 diamonds. That's my only advice to you so far. I'm going to show you some attacks here. Then I'm going to build a base and do a couple live hits and probably fall out of diamond. Totally okay with that as long as I can get back in to claim those chests. Now, speaking of this tech tree, one thing that is a little bit appealing to me is these riflemen. Riflemen with bombardiers is fairly amazing, singular, plural. Anyways, I'll show you that hit in a little bit. People also using rocket choppas. Now, one thing I'm not doing a lot of is seeker hits. Seekers this season are very difficult. My account that I showed you yesterday that has seekers, I do not have bullet yet. I also only have that 50% troop damage, so it's painful to say the least. Anyways, gonna show you some replays here. We are not fizzling all that much, and part of the reason is because of Everspark's universal remote. I'll show you how that does great things here in a second. So if you're not using her universal remote, do consider giving it a go, because when you get down into the nitty-gritty, or in this corner location, it does great things. Now, this is not how you should drop your troops, first and foremost. Yes, we get a little bit of luck here because that mech does shock the defense in behind, but you want to get a flare out with one boat of bombardier. I'll show you that in a second here as well. But do consider using a flare with your drop and holding your mechs back. Notice that mech right there, health is already down to like 50% or something like that. There is no need to drop that mech yet. Look at shock launcher doesn't range, rocket launcher doesn't range. None of this stuff ranges that mech. There was no, those bombardiers I should say, there's no reason to drop that stuff at all. Then we're trying to get a decent spread, and this is where all of the magic comes in. As soon as that sniper tower, even a little bit earlier than I thought, getting that boom cannon shocked, gets all of our troops closer to that engine room, gets them in and amongst all of those defenses, and yes, we are getting pummeled on that right-hand side, but we are going to get that shock launcher down is the important bit, and then we can do the old pull-out maneuver here in a second, getting our troops away, and once you get a little bit more comfortable, like I was comfortable that my base was going to get people to fizzle, so I was not saving a boat for this back left-hand side. You're better off if you do save a boat and then you just drop them. Come on, drawing. Drop them late, have them walk up here and blow all this stuff up. But I was just banking on the fact that people were going to fizzle. And I've seen some weird stuff where your troops actually walk away from this engine room. I don't know what's going on there. Need to investigate a little bit more here. Didn't happen on this attack, but Everspark's critters getting out front enough to get the mech out front. Everspark's critters again keeping things moving. It's amazing how much stuff you can walk through in this bottom right-hand corner, which I assume is why people are putting shock blasters there. Then you have to do the entire walk of shame. Watch Everspark keep changing her targeting. Targeting has been changed in Boom Beach in the last couple of seasons. Seeker's doing weird things. Everspark retargeting every couple steps. Nonetheless, I think we were Legend Geo's first battle of the season. I think I got a little bit lucky there. Again, dropping troops totally wrong. You know what? I was going to talk about that quickly. Let's go back here. Against Starship's base. Really, let's get a screenshot here. I can't draw on that. Should be flaring that mortar, dropping one boat of bombardiers, and then we can clear all of this stuff with no GBE and no troop damage lost, because look at nothing ranges that stuff. All of this stuff is best set back, so if we were to use a flare drop, we would clear all of this stuff, and then we could drop our troops about here. Mechs would go that way, mechs would go that way, Bob would be your uncle, and I have a replay showing that, not of me, because it took me a little bit to realize how dumb I was being, but these things do happen when you're in the heat of the moment. Was desperately trying to get into Diamond, and not thinking a heck of a lot. Yes, the mechs do decently, but there's no reason to throw those critters out there. Nothing would have been targeting our bombardiers until we got close to that, what's that thing called? Boom cannon. But then again, just getting a decent spread. Probably shouldn't have dropped two boats of those mechs out on that left-hand side, but just using the hack to get our troops closer. It gets them to walk in a couple steps, which is fantastic. And I talked about how much stuff you can clear with this. Just walking in, getting that hack, getting that boom cannon to distract a bunch of things. And then by the time they realize that we are in amongst them, clearing all of the things, using that shock, because why the heck not? A little bit of extra time from those critters. Things are going to get harder though, obviously, because I have that grappler to launch. Other people have shock blasters. It's going to be ugly. Let's see here. This is the attack I wanted to show you. Chicky Bricky 219. That is very fast. This attack was very smart. Lots of, like, doing all of the proper things. So getting those bombardiers out onto that. As that flare expires, getting the rest of these guys out, because they're gonna stay nice and low on the ramp as a result. Rifles. Notice that he has that 100% troop health. I did not at this point, so 100% troop health. Those rifles are staying alive in a big way, and then slowly but surely dropping those boats. Got one more boat in reserves, and notice that he's not doing a lot of critter swarms. That is for a very important reason. He is trying to conserve his gunboat energy. That way he doesn't have to come to this back left and get that flamethrower and, more importantly, that engine room. So slowly but surely bleeding those troops out, getting Everspark's critters, getting the critter swarms, and then right about, come on, there we go. 2, 3 boats, 3, 4, 5 critter vats onto that back flamethrower. I've seen so many people try and throw them on the engine room. Throw them on the flamethrower. That is the only way to go. Flaring that final engine room. Very fast time. Rifles definitely appealing to me. Don't know if I'm gonna go that route though. I think more importantly is getting to that final building health. That is gonna be an absolute game changer. against Koala Top. And again, because I didn't have that extra troop health, little bit wary of saving a boat for that back. I am just waiting for my base to stand on its head and then doing that complete walk of shame. If your base is winning, you don't need to hold any troops back. I am also not saving any gunboat energy. Chicky Bricky was doing both things, holding troops back and saving gunboat energy. I just don't have the gunboat energy. These attacks are mediocre at best and definitely need to clean them up. I still have, as soon as I saw this season, it came back, it all came flooding back. This season was just awful. It was not enjoyable. Like, they've got 2 rocket launchers, 2 boom cannons, and a shock launcher, and we are still having enough troops to walk through this base. Everspark's critters do get her upgraded. Getting her upgraded makes a big difference. She drops those passive critters slightly quicker. She drops more of those critters on that critter swarm if you end up using critter swarm, and we just do this ugly walk of shame all the way back. So the tech tree does work. The biggest thing is that once in a while you're going to run into a beast attacker, and that's frankly okay, as long as you can beat people who make the slightest of mistakes with your defenses. That's all you really need. And we are back. I've built a base and went and got a haircut. So I have no idea what happened 5 seconds ago in this video, but I've built a base. Now, Mackett, who is a staple on the New Zealand leaderboard, who's not there at the second, playing another account, said this base is tough, so we're going to give it a go. I have not attacked in 14 hours. Showing you that time has passed. We will see how this goes. You know what, first, let's just jump back. Make sure that I did, in fact, upgrade that troop health. Yes, I did. Okay, so also have nothing to place. Let's place that thing right about there, trying to hide some things. Oh, look, no boom mines back there, guys. Nothing to worry about. And now, let's get in. I don't have a clue how much health my bombardiers have. Probably should check that when these things pop up. Let's switch our troops, check how much health our bombardiers have. They have 1,500. Let's just double check to see how much health. Can't even see how much health mines do. I think they're like 300-ish, so we can probably hit 5 mines, I think. They've got double sky shield and a doom cannon at the back, so we need to be a little bit aware of that. Rocket launcher not ranging, rocket launcher not ranging, so we will do a little bit of smarts here, getting you out there. Come on, and then we're gonna do something like that. Just gonna hang out for a little bit. We'll drop you back here, get that mech walking towards that boom cannon, hopefully. Also you getting you there, and you about there. Lots and lots of mines to contest with, bit by stinking little bit. Now, do I dare send some troops back to the right-hand side? I don't think I'm gonna do such a thing, because just out of sheer fear in the fact that I haven't attacked anything in a long time. So as soon as that mortar goes down, we're gonna get that hack out. Should get the boom cannon, which again should get our troops moving forwards. Getting a shock back here to try to keep our mech getting towards that stuff. Those mechs are not turning in the direction I was hoping. That mech getting wrecked by that boom cannon. All signs are pointing towards a complete and utter failure here. So you need to get that hack out, trying to get our troops moving forward, trying to get some separation by that mech, and just not getting it. Thankfully, we've got one bombardier at least chucking towards that shock launcher, and that shock launcher is gone. That is a good step in the right direction. Just need that mech to get slightly forwards. We are very far from a shock. I think our opponent has struggled as well, though should be able to shock that. Come on, dudes, get chucking. Get chucking, get me at least one more engine room, and hopefully one more shock. Like I said, our opponents are struggling just as much as we are. Gross. They've got an engine room now, though. We are going to retreat. Yes, we're going to send out the white flag. Absolute screw up on my part. But thankfully, we've got a chance. I think they've got more percentage than we did, though, so probably going to lose. 1, 2, 3, 4 engine rooms still sitting there. Come on. Come on, rocket launchers. I don't even know how many engine rooms we left up, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see if... Yep, okay, we did. We got that puppy down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they only got 1, I think. We picked up 17 huge stars just by sucking slightly less than they did. And that pretty much sums up the season there. So, one other quick note is that if you're worried about getting engine rooms, just go to the back and get this one first. Like, that would have been, if they would have gone and gotten that engine room, they would have gotten a little bit, like, all they would have had to do was flare along this wall, and they probably could have came up and gotten this engine room. So you gotta trust your base. Again, shout out to Mr. Mackett for sending this base along. So far, so good. I looked on the leaderboard, I saw 0 people with it, which was part of the reason why I built it. It's really nice to have a base that no one else has, and his replay, or his picture he sent me, did not have the name of the person who built this base or designed this base. So if it was you, thank you. I would love to give you a shout out, but I don't know whose base it was. We'll do one more hit. I promise it'll get better. If not on this video, I know that's the weird thing, like, as soon as I stopped recording yesterday, I went on a 12-game win streak to get into 19, and then an 8-game win streak to get into 20, and then, like, I tend to play better when, oh, this base is interesting, tend to play better when you guys are not here. This person, again, locking down that back, worried about the back engine rooms. They have, let's have a look at they've got that 150% building health. That is going to be so strong. They've also got that 150% troop health. Like, this is going to be very, very interesting. I think this is the first time I faced 150 building health. I am going to focus on getting some engine rooms. Don't care about all of them. Rocket launchers not ranging, rocket launchers not ranging. So the first thing we need to be aware of is that boom cannon. So I am going to just straight up slow play this. We're going to get that flare out. Now, some people like to get the bombardiers out, then the flare. I do the flare, then the bombardiers. Potato. We're just going to make sure we get one more boat over on that right-hand side. And now just absolute slow play. Getting the mechs out as we get towards that there boom cannon. And then we're going to get... Come on. Don't want to lose any troops quite yet. And then getting out critters. I way overuse critters. They have a... No, sorry, for some reason I thought I lost a mech. I thought for some reason that I lost a mech to all of those, to a hidden grappler or something like that, just showing where my mindset is at the second. I think I missed that shock, hit the sky shield. I told you my attack was going to get better, and then things actually got worse. So on the plus side, we managed to take out a flamethrower on that right hand side, which will help us a little teeny tiny bit, but just bad attacking so far. This is something that needs to be cleaned up in a big way. That, as you can see by how fast our opponent is being, this is going to be a loss almost like 99% likely, so we're just going to focus on keeping our troops alive and getting all of the engine rooms. I am going to be ridiculously slow and ridiculously terrible on this attack, but that is going to be okay because we are going to get every single stinking one of their engine rooms, and I am sorry, opponent, in advance. We are going to waste some of your time, but this season, more than any other, you just got to do it. Stick to your guns, keep your troops moving forwards. and now we're just gonna wait. I'm gonna use some critters. We're gonna get a chest out of this deal, and claiming in diamond is the most important part of this entire process. I feel like we almost could go with 2 boats of mechs. Those rocket launchers and mines are not doing a heck of a lot of damage to our bombardiers, and they'll do even less damage. Ooh, gotta figure out what to do with these mines. Let's go something like that. They'll do even less damage as we get that next 50% troop health. So those rifles are big time calling my name. I am very, very, very curious to see if our opponent used rifles. 3 boats of mechs seemed like too many. I hate coming on here and showing you guys losses, but at the same time, there's a lot of good things in these attacks, and I really, really do hope that those critters clear a couple mines. Come on, dudes. Get at least... I don't think they're going to, though. They're going to be too tight to that corner, and now we just have to wait and see if our troops are going to make it through this in time. Not sending troops to the left ended up working out for the best in some regards, because our troops are going to get back on all of these engine rooms, but so slow. Not sexy. Our base... The fact that no one else has it had me excited and worried all at the same time. So we are going to get onto that final engine room. Down it goes. 22 seconds. Not a fast time, not a sexy time, but not a fizzle time, at least. What did Squiggles do? 2 minutes 5 seconds. Rifles is my guess. What do you got for us? Bombardiers, yep, using that flare. And again, they drop, then flare. I would love to hear what you guys... Oh, they have heavies! I love it! Seeing heavies for the first time is fantastic. So, we talked about rifles. They are bringing out heavies and artillery, dropping on that... Wonder why that rocket launcher of all of the rocket launchers. So, we talked about getting the heck away from mechs to get to rifles, and now here is another option. I don't care the fact that I lost. The bottom line, and see, that's why people are starting to protect that back section. There's nothing that you can do against that. That is fast, and so once I get fast, we will clean that up, but for the moment, making people fizzle is primary task number 1, and they're just pumping heavies in bit by stinking little bit. There's the universal hack, clearing so fast. Love to see this. Watching replays this season, so valuable. And we went 1 for 1. I would call that 0 for 2, to be completely honest. But we picked up a win, so let's take that win. Not quite at the chest, but we've got enough that we'll be able to claim in diamond. Where the heck even are heavies? Down there. Heavies are way out of the way. But if you can get to heavy choppas, which you probably can based on the size of the chests... Oh, quick note, speaking of size of chests, I went through my videos from last time we had Season 31, and the answer of when to go 6 engine rooms was when you had 263 keys. I don't know what that was. Maybe that would be getting onto there and there, but 263 keys was the number. So what's that, 40, we'll call that 80, 120, 160... 200, that doesn't seem like, maybe that's 263 to Kavan, not entirely sure, but that was the magic number last time we had this season. Anyways, hopefully you guys like the new haircut. I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, don't have video face cam, so that's a joke. Code ZMOT in the shop. I shall talk to you in April, probably. Do consider following me on Twitter and or on the YouTube community channel. I'll try and upload some things, but I don't want to upload those like ugly, stupid camera recording or phone recordings. We'll see though. Maybe I will miss you guys too badly. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm ZMOT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.